What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, previews and vlogs. Thanks for coming back. All right, so today we're going to be doing another video on the TRAILBLAZER. We're in it right now. We're actually on the way to the store to pick up something that I really don't like to use on my cars, and that is going to be plastic dip. I'm only going to be using it in a very small portion of the car. Nothing, nowhere. I'm not going to be plastic dipping the wheels or any trim or anything like that. So, but I am going to be showing you guys pretty much the upgrades I'm going to be doing. These are going to be some of the final upgrades, more for visual than anything. There are a few that need to be fixed, and they're actually quick fixes. They need to get done on the car. But the truck is pretty much done. Again, I bought this truck about about 3 weeks ago, I'd say. Probably, maybe it's actually been about a month almost. And the is pretty much was in great condition. It needed front brakes, it needed tires. It did have a leak from the pinion seal. All that has been fixed. New brakes, new front brakes, new tires. The rear brakes are already done on the truck. The pinion seal leak has been fixed. Fluid's been replaced for the transfer case and the differential. And now we're just going to be doing some visual upgrades, or cosmetic upgrades if you want to call that. So the way the truck looks now is pretty much stock. There's nothing really. I didn't do any lifts or anything like that. You guys have seen my videos. You know, I've also done, you know, spark plugs and stuff like that, regular maintenance things on the car, but nothing. I haven't gone crazy with the truck. Not sure how long it's gonna last me. The truck currently has 160,000 miles on it, or actually 162,000 miles on it now. And I'm not sure how long the truck is gonna last. I'm not sure how much money I want to invest in the truck. I like the truck. I've always liked this style truck since they came out in 2002. At that age, you know, I was younger and didn't have the money at that point to buy something like this. But now that I did, I went ahead and bought one. I found it with low miles. It's running good. It's you know, again, in great condition, and it's my daily driver. But as my daily driver, I want to do some upgrades to it to make it more personal. And after all the repairs I've done on it, of course, small repairs, it's time for these small upgrades. Now, will I be doing a lift kit on it? Maybe. Will I be doing bigger wheels on it or bigger tires? Maybe. For now, this is what I'm going to be doing on it. Pretty much is just simple, small upgrades. So right now, this is what the truck looks like right now. As you can see here, it's pretty much stock. The front grille, the Chevy emblem is all pretty much peeled off, gone out of here. The lights are kind of faded, more like, look like scratched or something like that. Somebody tried to actually buff them. Looks more like that's on the inside. I don't know if you guys can see that on there. Fog lights, of course, they are pretty much fine. They're not broken. This one right here has got condensation in it, which I will be actually replacing that. Not in today's video, unfortunately. I forgot to order that light, but I'm actually replacing the bulb on there. And then the same thing with this light here. It's got some fogginess to it. So we're gonna be buffing out the lights, replacing the grille. Coming on this side here, I got some scratches here. These are gonna be kind of try to buff these out. Not in today's video. Again, this stuff is gonna be happening. It's gonna be a process, but there is a dent actually right here, and this is all the way through to the bare metal. So that's gonna be kind of touched up when I get the actual color paint. And again, I mean, the truck, I've showed you guys the truck, it's in great shape. I'm gonna be doing the rear reverse lights. I'm gonna be changing those to LEDs, as well as the license plate bulbs. And the paint that I'm gonna be getting actually, or the plastic dip, is actually just for this emblem here. Another thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be replacing these actual hood struts, or hood shocks, or hood stays, however, or liftgate stays, however you wanna call them. They are pretty much, if you look at it, they are weak. Both sides, I got new ones already. So those are going to be replaced today. And of course, last but not least, this panel here. So this is part of it. I broke it myself. I tried to stick it back in here, and it was already, this clip right here was already broken. That one right there, you guys could see it. There's a clip right there. It was kind of broken already, and I kind of tried to pop it in there and then cause more damage, and this is what I ended up with. But I did order that piece. Now, most of these upgrades I'm doing to this car, or this truck, for this point, did not cost very much. And I will put a description and a link to every part that I'm gonna be putting on this truck today. And we're gonna do a before and after shot of it. Of course, mainly, like I said, it's gonna be a front grille and lights that I'm gonna be doing, mainly LED bulbs on the front instead of the regular halogen it has. But I'm gonna put a description to everything that I'm gonna be putting on the truck today. It wasn't very expensive, actually. I'm gonna be honest with you, and we're gonna see how it looks after I'm done with it. And again, this is just like basic. If you want to kind of give your Trailblazer a quick update, or whatever type of car you have. I mean, if you want to give it a quick update, make it look a little bit better than what it looks like now, here's just some tips you guys could do, and it won't cost you much. So let's go ahead, take this thing back home and start working on it. So anyways, we're going to the store to pick up the plastic dip for that rear Chevy Emblem that I'm sending a plastic dip. I'm not gonna paint, I'm not gonna go through all that hassle again. I love the truck, but I don't think I'm gonna be going through all the hassle of painting, removing the emblem, painting it, and putting it back on. I'm just gonna plastic dip the emblem, which I've never actually plastic dipped anything. So it'll be my first time plastic dipping something. And I'm gonna do it while it's on the truck. I'm not gonna take it off the truck and everything. I'm just gonna mask everything. Of course, it is plastic. If I get on the paint, I'm gonna get it off. It's not actual paint. So I'll see you guys in a second here once I come back to the garage, and we'll go through everything that I'm gonna install on the truck again, and I'm gonna show you guys what I already have and what's ready to get installed. All right, fellas, so here's what we got. We got the rear tailgate stays or shocks on here, the new ones. They're from Max Power. The new panel for the driver's seat switches, high beam and low beam HID or LED bulbs, LED turn signal, LED fog lights, and LED Phillips turn signals and license plate bulbs, and our new grill right over there. So all this is gonna get installed today on the Trailblazer. All right, to get the grill out, pretty much it's actually pretty quick, pretty easy. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 clips here, and there's 4 clips down here as well. The same location, pretty much 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pretty much this is all prying these back and pulling the grill out. That's as simple as that, as this grill's gonna come out. So let me go ahead, get this grill out of here first before we start taking the headlights out, because we gotta get the headlights out to get to the bulbs. Which is pretty easy. Screwdriver, flathead. You're gonna push down on the clip up from behind it, push down and pull forward on the grill. Now on some of these, if they've been removed before, it'll be pretty easy. Some of these may come right out. So on this one, again, just push down on the back of it and pull towards you. It's 1, push down, pull towards you. As you guys can see, the grill came right out. Even the bottom clips that were on here, this one's broken off. This one's still there, so this one's probably already broken off from before. Let me see here. It's right in here, so it probably just broke off now. But we don't need this grill, so we're gonna get rid of this one. All right, so now to get to the actual headlight bulbs, we're gonna have to take these right here. There's one there, and there's one right down here in this area that needs to be pried up and popped up. These pop up just like this. So this right here, pull up, and now the headlight's slightly loose right there. You see that pops right out. But we got to get to the one that's inside of here. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna get this one loose, and I'm gonna put the camera down right there. That pops up, and then this comes out. But we got to get to the one again that's further inside of there. To get to that one, I'm gonna try this side here first. This pops right up, and now the headlight assembly is now loose. All right, now that I got both sides removed, including that one in there, I did use a longer screwdriver to reach to that one and pop that out of there, and then of course you can just get your fingers underneath it and pull it up. We have to remove the rest of the headlight assembly. Now, we don't gotta pull it fully out because I'm not replacing the actual headlight assemblies, at least not yet. I'm just putting LED lights everywhere here. So only thing I have to do is pull it out slightly enough just to get some room to work and replace the bulbs. So to do that, it's all loose, but there's a bottom lip of the light that is held on by the bumper. All you have to do is push the bumper slightly down and pull the light out. Like, if you try to pull the light out, it's gonna get stuck. You're gonna be messing with it all day. All you gotta do is push the bumper down, and the light comes right out. Alright, so now we're gonna install the LED driving lights and the high beams. And the high beams are 9005s, the low beams are 9006s. They are marked on the box, which is which, 9005 and of course 9006. They're marked right on there. Now these LED bulbs are the same ones I put on the wife's Pathfinder. They are from Farron. Again, the description will be in the link below. It's been down there for a while. But for these 9006 and 9005s, there'll be a new description on there if you guys want to get these. So let's go ahead and get these things installed. Just like any other bulb comes out of there. Connector goes in there, just like that. Everything gets hidden in there. Put the cover back on, and you're good to go. Do the same thing to the other side. Take this out, plug that. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that the lights both turn on. Shoot. And there we go. Low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam. Let's get the turn signal bulb in there now. Turn signal bulb I went with another manufacturer. This manufacturer here does state there is a chip in this light that will keep the actual lights from having that rapid flash, or whatever you want to call it. So let's see if this actually works. Now I did go with an amber light. I did not do bright white or anything. I kept the amber light for the turn signal, but I did want to go LED on them. So, all right guys, so I had to grind these small parts down right here. Trying to get this thing to focus here. You can see them, but these parts right here were just kind of sticking. I had to grind them down. Now it does fit on there, just like that. We'll plug it into the car. Perfect. All right, so turn signal works. Looks like it's working the way it should be. There's no rapid flash at this point, which is a good thing. All right, so we got those on. Both headlights done. LED turn signals, LED low beams and high beams, as well as both passenger and driver side. Now I am gonna buff out the lights right now, but as you can see with the LEDs, you can actually see how much worse the actual headlight is. So I might just replace these, just because that's the way I am when I see something that I don't like, and that looks really bad, especially with the LED shining on there. There may be some kind of issue with them, but just doesn't look right to me, at least. But anyways, let's do the fog lights, buff out the lights, and then I'll put in the grill. The grill should be just a quick snap on. It has the exact same clips that the other one came with, so that shouldn't be any different than putting on the old grill back on there. All right, for the fog lights, it's actually pretty simple. Get under the car here. They are right up here. You can see them right there. That's how it comes out. Of course, pull the connector out. Once you have the bulb completely out, like I said, just pull this out. Light bulb comes out. And we'll test it out. let me go ahead and finish this stuff. I gotta get the buff, finish buffing the lights out, and then put the grill back on. The worst way to do this is with a dirty foam pad on there or sponge on there to buff out the lights, but this, I actually buffed these lights. I used this to buff out the accurate lights that I had on there that I actually got really clear on those. But either way, I'm gonna do what I got right now. I did forget to pick up another pad to buff these lights out with, but anyways, let's go ahead. So that's one. Actually, see how that looked out. And again, I did that kind of half-assed, honestly. I cleaned them up really quick with some glass cleaner, put some wax on them, let it sit there while I was messing around with the fog lights, and then use this nasty, dirty pad to actually buff them. But again, they came out looking actually pretty nice. So go ahead and do the other side now. Alright, so that one came out looking good too. You can see the shine, you can see how much brighter or how much clearer the light looks. And now last thing is to put on this grill. Again, the grill does come pretty much, I don't know if you guys can see this here with this light, with all the clips that the other grill had. Bottom clips all the way through. This is literally pop on there, push it on, and that is it. Make sure you lock up all the tabs in there. Alright, from the looks of it, this tab right in here, I'm going to show you guys actually. So here's where we're at. All of these tabs match evenly with the old grill. There's this tab right here, matches this one. The only one that's off is this one. Does not line up with that tab. So when we're trying to install it, hole right in there, it does not match up. It's actually trying to get me to put it over here on this side somewhere. So we could do one of two things. Drill a hole on this plastic piece so that tab goes in there, or easiest thing would be break off the tab. I mean, that tab really doesn't do much of anything. It just literally slides in there, and I don't even know if it supports much of anything. These are the ones that do all the work right here. So you know what, I'll drill the hole in there just to make it fit properly and do it the right way. All right, so the grill is in. It was a 7/64 drill bit to make a small hole in there for that actual tab to fit in there. One problem though, that is my fault completely here. I popped this side in here of the top, it went in, this side was not going in, and instead of trying to be nice to it, I hit it really hard, smacked it, which you shouldn't do, especially with something with plastic like this, and I broke the tab down there. So now I have this. So I'm gonna contact the seller. Hopefully there's some kind of warranty on there. I mean, it is my fault. I might have to pay for just another one and just get a whole new grill. Again, they're not that hard to take off anyways, and pretty much, well, again, it's my fault. I shouldn't have smacked it. This side went in smooth, that side went in smooth, everything went smooth. I got to this bottom piece and I kind of just had to probably just push it down slightly, and instead of being all careful about it like I always normally am not, I smacked it, hit it like this, the tab broke off, and now I have that issue there. But the actual grill alone was, as I break the other grill, the actual grill was about, I think it was like $40 anyways, so if I have to pay for another one, I'll get another one. Again, it is my fault I broke that tab. I mean, it still doesn't look half bad. Once it gets, actually tomorrow morning when it gets light, I will finish shooting this video just to show you guys how it actually looks afterwards, after I install that grill. But for now, I'll see you guys in the morning finish it up in the morning because it is getting dark. I just want to get inside, get some rest, and then I'll finish everything else up in the morning. Here, this is the one that's broken. To remove it, there is one last screw, of course, the broken tab that goes right in here. It is a Phillips, goes right in there. You get that removed, and then we got to do take the connectors out of here. Once we get the connectors out, we can just switch everything over to the other panel and then lock it in place. So let me go ahead and get those connectors. So new piece, old piece. That's the switch that basically makes it go back and forth and adjust the back of the seat. The other switch is right in here still. This connector was a pain to try to get out, so I just kind of left it in there and popped it out with the connector still attached to it. So just to make sure that everything is the way it should be, it's got the hole for the screw that's going to be in the front there, all the clips that it should have. Again, that clip was broken on this one as well, so you could see where all the damage was in the old one here. So we're going to go ahead and put these pieces back on this one and get this reinstalled. Now these should pop right off here. You got to kind of work them out with the screwdriver, kind of lift one side and kind of mess with them to get them out, but they do come off of there. So let's go ahead and get this thing put back together and put back into the car. Now that's back on there the way it should be. It's not dangling out of there anymore, kind of all hanging out and shit. So that's on there pretty stiff. Make sure when you do put everything back on, it does have plastic clips. Be careful you don't break them. The clips go on first from the top. Once that goes on, that bottom clip that's got the metal plate here pops right in. So again, I didn't show the video because it's hard for me to do everything with one hand and hold the camera at the same time. But again, I'm gonna show you on the old one right here. When you're putting that back on, the clip that breaks here, which is right on that side here, that goes in first. Then this one, which is where your thighs would be, right over here, by the end of your legs, that goes in next, and then this pops right in there. Just push it up against there, and then you put the screw on the front there from where this screw right here, this one right there, and that's it. That one's actually pretty much the easiest thing pretty much so far. Actually, everything was pretty easy, just make myself work harder on certain things here. So anyways, that's done. And I did say I was gonna stop, but now I am gonna stop. It is dark outside. Gotta finish off the rear tail lights, which is the rear reverse bulbs, the license plate bulbs on it, and the tailgate struts on there. Gotta put those on tomorrow. So all right, so there you go, we got light. Now I am gonna say something that, of course, I didn't record on here. When I first turned on the lights, it did not work. They were pretty much neither one of them turned on. Now, before that, the driver's side was burned out, the passenger side was working. This time when I plugged them both in, neither was working. So I kind of, first thing I did is, before I even started switching bulbs out or anything like that, I came right in here. This is the fuse right in there. This is the actual relay for the fog lights, and that's the fuse. So it's a 15 amp fuse, pulled it out, and of course the fuse was burned out. Put a new fuse in there, and now they're both working. Last night we did the LED high beams, low beams, fog lights, and we replaced the trim for the seat cushion, or for the buttons for the driver's seat. So today, pretty much we're gonna have to do the rear hatch stays, as well as the rear lights, the license plate light bulbs, and the backup lights. That's the last thing I have left on the car to do. One thing I am gonna have to go back and touch today. So last night I did take the car out for a drive after I installed the LED lights. And I was going on the road and I was looking at the lights, and they looked uneven on the surface. Here's a picture actually of how they actually looked. So if you can see on one side, the driver's side looks like it extends a lot further, the light beam extends further, as the passenger side doesn't look like that. The problem here is that I installed the passenger side light incorrectly. Now let me show you what I mean. When you're installing LED lights, the diodes, the small little lights that are on there, have to be installed at a certain degree. The actual manufacturer will tell you most of them have to face 9 and 3. So if you look at this bulb right here, you can see little diodes in there. they're facing at 9 and 3. They're facing the opposite of each other. If they're facing 12 and 6, the light's not gonna come out properly. My high beam is incorrect. It's facing pretty much 11 and like 5 o'clock. It's not even on right. And same thing on this side. It's facing, same thing. It's kind of an angle there. And of course, the driver light, or the passenger light, is facing at 12 and 6, which is not correct. So what's going on here, as you saw on that picture I showed you, this beam right here, especially the driving light bulb, or the driving bulb, is not emitting light properly, and it's kind of angled off. It's shooting off to the side. So I have to remove this one. Actually, I have to remove both of them to fix and kind of turn the bulb around. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the whole light assembly out again, pain in the butt, and kind of turn everything around. So I'll be back after I turn the bulbs around and show you guys how they should be. All right, fellas, so now the lights are on the right way, just like they should be. You can tell in there that the light is properly installed at 3 and 9. Same thing with the high beam. And of course fix both of these, including the high beam. The fog light is already like that, installed the right way. Again, just make sure every time you put the LED lights, they are facing the 3 and 9 o'clock, where those little diodes are facing each of those sides. If it's up and down, you're not gonna get the proper light out of them. Another thing I did just as I was, before I put the lights back in and everything, like I told you guys, this grill was kind of flimsy. It wasn't really staying on much. This tab right in here kept hopping out. So I actually went to the auto parts store, picked up a few of these Chrysler 4 GM. They're interior panel retainers. Pretty much show you guys what they look like. It's pretty much what that is right there. And I drilled a hole on the grill right next to the actual clips where they retain, because every time you pull on this, it just popped right out. I drilled a small hole right in those areas. The same drill bit 1764s that I drilled a hole to put this tab in here for, I drilled here just to get those retainers in there and just to keep the grill more secured on there. As for the broken piece down here that I did break, actually before ordering anything, because I'm gonna have to order a new one, I just took right in there, I stuck a zip tie. I know that's a cheap way to fix it, but you can barely see it. If you're looking at the whole grill, and you can't even tell that there's a zip tie at the bottom unless I actually point it out. Yes, that's the cheap way to fix it, not the correct way to fix it. It would be either using some kind of glue or adhesive, some epoxy, or even JB Weld, which works really well with plastic. But instead of going through all that process and everything, I did it the cheap way, the lazy way, and if you want to call it that way. Just stuck a zip tie through there, through the hole where the clips should go into, tighten it up, and it's good to go. So right now, this grill is not going anywhere. So if you guys do order this grill, this would be some of the tips. Be careful when you're installing it, and then I would just drill 2 small holes, one here, get those small clips. They were literally $3. You get them at AutoZone or any auto parts store. And then you gotta have to drill those small hole that goes in here for this retaining clip that goes inside the panel right there. That's pretty much how you secure the grill in there properly. So now that that's done, I'm gonna put the headlight for the driver's side back on completely, close the hood, and I gotta actually take this car, reverse it, so we can go start working on the back reverse lights, license plate bulbs, and the rear hatch shocks. All right, fellas, so got the car in here, reversed it back in. Now we're gonna do the lift gate stays, the LED backup bulbs, as well as the license plate bulbs. One of them is burned out anyways. And we're gonna take care of this Chevy sign. We're gonna take this plastic adhesive that's on here out of here, and we're gonna hit this thing up with some Duplicolor custom wrap, which is pretty much similar to Plasti Dip. So we're gonna get all these things done right now. First, let's start off with the actual tailgate hatch stays. All right, so before we do this, the reason I'm doing this again is because, of course, the tailgate's not staying up like it should. When you open the tailgate, it kind of comes down slightly, and that's because these shocks are weak. When you order these, I have a link in the description where to order them. They're going to be on Amazon. Make sure that they are the same size before you start taking the old ones off. So that looks good right there. And clamp down one of the sides for safety. Now I am going to put a piece of wood between the panel here of the bumper holding up the actual tailgate just in case. This shouldn't be that hard. It literally, there's a couple clips here that you need a small screwdriver to pop this up, pop them up, and they come right off of there, and then the other ones bolt right, pop back in, and the clips go in. So let's get going with this and get this job taken care of. All right guys, so it's all done. Both shocks are replaced. Let's see how it works now. Now it should come up on its own without me having to push up on it like I did before. Just like that. And hold up all the way. So quick job, probably takes about 10 minutes if that. It's better with two people if somebody could hold the hatch while you do it. Again, you could always just use a regular channel lock and lock on one side. I was supposed to put something that holds the hatch up from here to here, but I don't have anything that long, so I work with what I had. But again, 10 minutes is all it took me to replace both of them. All right, so now let's go ahead and take this tail light out, get the bulb replaced for the reverse lights, and then we'll do the license plate bulbs. So let's go ahead and get these done. All right guys, so for this job it's pretty simple. You're gonna need a Phillips screwdriver and a T20 Torx bolt or Torx screwdriver. So you got two Phillips head screwdrivers that hold the light out or this panel in here. Remove both of those. Pull that out. And then of course right in here, you're going to have 1, 2, and 3 T20 Torx bolts that are gonna need to be removed. So let me get those out of there. Once that comes out, here are all your light bulbs. Pull out your incandescent bulb. Install your new bulb. And then put everything back together the way you took it out. All right, so the stays are done. The LED reverse light bulbs are done. We're almost done with this. Last thing they have to do in the rear hatch, actually the last two things are going to be the license plate bulbs. One is burned out, so I'm gonna replace them both with just LED bulbs, and I'm gonna go ahead and plastic dip the back or the rear Chevy emblem that's out there that's missing the actual color centerpiece on there. So this is actually a pretty simple job with the license plate bulbs. There is 2 screws that hold those bulbs in there. 1, 2 actually hold this cover in. You remove those screws out of there. Same thing on this side. Remove those screws out of here. And this whole thing comes right out. The bulb is right there exposed. Put the new bulb in, pull it out. So I'll go ahead and get that, show you guys how that's done. So that is it. Take that out, This one was particularly actually stuck on there, so I kind of had to use this little pry tool to get it out. Do not use a screwdriver, you'll scratch the paint or you'll damage the lens for the bulb. But that's it. That's as simple as that. Same thing with the other side. All right, fellas, so lights are working. Last thing I need to do is to put the caps back on there. I left the caps off of the lights just because I wanted to test them out, of course. But now the very last thing I gotta do is go ahead and plastic dip the Chevy emblem, see how that turns out. I've never plastic dipped anything before, so let's see how it turns out. Blacked out. With my own mistake, I nicked it right on that very corner, right, or very middle right there. I hit that with my fingernail and I kind of peeled it off a little bit. Not worried about it. I'm actually gonna probably try. I didn't like the way it came out with the plastic dip. I'm actually probably gonna try and get vinyl wrap and just wrap it instead. I'll take the plastic dip out and vinyl wrap it. But we got new rear LED lights, front headlights, high beams and low beams. Turn signals are also LEDs, as well as the fog lights. We went ahead and replaced the seat trim right here as well, so that's taken care of. And of course the rear hatch stays, where now the rear hatch opens like it should automatically and goes all the way up. So that's all was done in this video. I will put a link to all the things in the description, and you guys can see how you can upgrade everything. Also, we did the front grille. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but I will put a link for everything in the description below. Again, it cost me less than probably $200 to get all this stuff done. So you guys stay safe out there with this pandemic that's going on with the coronavirus and all that stuff. Everybody stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.